I returned to Earth as Andriana. I go by Ann, but symbolic I am. Inanna returned. Sorry for the darkness, okay? All right. My disclaimer, I am not a guru, messenger, teacher, or counselor. I'm sharing what I have received, experienced, or witnessed. The title of this segment is Inanna or Isis, how the Anunnaki messed with our head. All right. I must do these vlogs because we need to know why we are in this current state. The main focus will be on Inanna or Isis. It will shed some light on why the beast attempted to destiny swap her. I'm giving permission to share this vlog because the information is crucial. So go ahead and share. Get comfortable with the snacks, with your snacks, because this vlog will be an eye-opener. Yes, it's that jaw-dropping. There are other characters in the story, such as Enki, Marduk, Prince Ninurta, or Prince Enlil, Enki's brother. I'll demonstrate how Enki and Marduk shaped the story to suit their agenda. The Dark Cosmic Mother has regained her sovereignty, and the Divine Feminine is underway, so I must release this information. The information in this vlog came from Wes Penry's 4th Level of Learning, published on March 7, 2014. You can find the information on wespenry.com, and he also has PDF. That's his first name, W-E-S, last name, P-E-N-R-E. wespenry.com is the website. He has books as well. Okay, first subhead, Isis and other titles. Many have confused Ninhursag, Isis, Ishtar, and Inanna. The intentional confusion came from what Enki and Marduk did. Isis or Inanna's father is Ninurta, who is Prince Enlil, Enki's brother. According to Wes Penry's research, Inanna, Ishtar, and Isis are one and the same. Let me repeat that. According to Wes Penry's research, Inanna, Ishtar, and Isis are one and the same. In Mesopotamia or Sumer, you have Inanna. In Babylon, she's Ishtar. And in Kemet, she's Isis. Isis or Inanna gave birth to Horus in the myth of Isis and Osiris. Horus is Marduk. The mother and child photos floating around as Mary and Jesus is Inanna nursing Tammuz or Isis nursing Horus or Heru. However, Inanna or Isis did not have a virgin birth in this particular story. I have already proven in vlogs that Inanna is the Black Madonna, okay? She rebirthed herself. Inanna rebirthed herself in the descent of Inanna to the underworld. I must note that mainstream texts claim that Ninurta is a separate entity from Prince Enlil, which is what Enki and Marduk want us to believe. Here's why Prince Enlil is Ninurta. They claim that all of the Anunnas or Anunnaki have titles, but only Prince Enlil has a name, which is Ninurta. Why? Ninurta's stepfather is Khan Enlil or King Enlil, who's also King Anu. To avoid the confusion when people say Enlil, they gave Prince Enlil a name, Ninurta. He's the only one with a name. The others have titles. The various titles suit an agenda. Per Wes Penry, when Enki and Marduk dictated stories to the scribes, they made slight changes to suit their agenda. Creating various styles was part of the confusion. Mainstream texts separate the titles as if they are different beings. For example, mainstream texts claim that Inanna and Isis are two different beings. Isis or Inanna gave birth to Horus in the myth, Isis and Osiris, and Horus is Marduk. The mother and child photos you see floating around, Mary and Jesus, that's Inanna nursing Tammuz or Isis nursing Horus or Heru. Okay? Again, I'm sorry for the darkness. I must emphasize that Inanna or Isis gave birth to Horus or Marduk, but it was not a virgin birth. The Mary Jesus story came about because Enki and Marduk wanted us to worship them. Enki is the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus. Enki is a shapeshifter also. Marduk took on the character of Yahushua. Enki, the blonde-haired and blue-eyed Jesus, and Marduk, Yahushua, the character. It's a character because he's impersonating Inanna. Because she did not have a virgin birth. When it comes to that Jesus story, that's Inanna. Jesus or Yahushua is Inanna. She was usurped. Okay? All right. Marduk's reincarnation here on earth claimed a virgin birth. Let me set this virgin birth story straight. The queen of the Orion Empire, Antu or Queen Sophia, is Enki's mother. She gave birth to Enki and Prince Ninurta parthenogenically, meaning she did not have sex with King Anu or Khan Enlil. So both Enki and Ninurta or Prince Enlil are virgin births. Antu or Queen Sophia's marriage to Khan Enlil or King Anu was a business relationship, no sex involved. Enki and Inanna or Isis are the parents of Marduk, not a virgin birth. As for Ninhursag, she's the mother goddess, Queen Sophia, and she did not help Enki create mankind. The mother goddess was against what Enki did. It was Inanna or Isis that helped birth mankind with Enki. Ninhursag created the original womankind, all virgin births. All virgin births are female, not male. Okay? Yeah. So here's one of the agendas for the change of title from Inanna to Isis. Enki and Marduk wanted to link the title to the Bible, hence the genes of Isis or Genesis, the book of Genesis. Enki knew that he would not inherit the throne of the Orion Empire, so he married Inanna or Isis to get a foot in the door. Since Enki was castrated, Marduk has assumed Enki's titles. There's a push for Osiris or Asar to be seated on the throne, which is an attempt to hang on to patriarchy. Marduk has taken on the Osiris or Asar titles, which originally belonged to Enki. There's one problem with that agenda. Neither Enki nor Marduk is welcomed in the Orion Empire. Both Enki and Marduk are angry and want to go to war with the Orion Empire to get even due to Enki's loss of inheritance. That's the real reason Marduk wants to take the throne. Enki defiled Inanna/Isis. In West Penry's fourth level of learning, Enki manipulated Inanna or Isis to go to Earth with him because he wanted to explain to Inanna or Isis why he was treated badly by the Orion court. When they got to Earth, Enki took Inanna or Isis aside and brutally raped her. Inanna or Isis said there was nothing she could do because she did not have any communication device and there was no one around. Inanna or Isis gave birth to Marduk as a result of the rape. So no, Marduk was not a virgin birth. He is a product of rape. Enki used his charm and tricked Inanna or Isis into marrying him. There's another version of this story. Inanna or Isis was one of the ladies of fire in the Garden of Eden. Enki knew who she was and raped her in the garden, and Marduk was the result of the rape. The snake in the Garden of Eden decoded. Enki was the snake, or his snake raped Eve or Inanna or Isis in the garden. Okay? His snake raped Eve or Inanna. Get it? Oh, Adam did not exist at the time. When I first heard the story of the snake and the apple, I assumed sexual undertone, and I was right. I remember saying something like that to the group, that it was sexual in nature, and they laughed hysterically, but yeah, I was right. Synchronicity, I actually found what I thought in research. Isn't that synchronicity? Okay. Both stories yielded a son named Marduk, and the rape made Marduk a bastard son. They told so many lies. They told the rest of the crooked story in the Bible, with Enki appearing as the serpent or Satan in the Bible, under the titles of YHWH or Yahweh and Jehovah. The mangled Bible story left out the murder. In addition to the rape of Eve, Enki murdered one of the ladies of fire in the Garden of Eden and took a rib from her. The rib contained DNA Enki needed to create a race of hybrid workers with Inanna or Isis. Apparently, Inanna or Isis was a trained geneticist. The hybrid humans came about before the flood. Ninurta's reaction. Inanna or Isis apologized and complained to her father, Ninurta, that Enki had raped her and tricked her into marriage. Ninurta, or Prince Enlil, was not pleased. He communicated with Inanna telepathically, so Ninurta knew that Inanna or Isis was telling the truth. It took a while for Prince Ninurta to welcome Inanna or Isis with open arms because she stayed with her rapist. Inanna or Isis said Enki had ways of making the wombs spellbound. Regardless, Ninurta said Inanna or Isis must have had feelings for Enki while she stayed with him. As a result of Enki's misdeeds, he was banned from the Orion Empire. Marduk sided with Enki, so he was also banned from entering the Orion Empire, and he's still banned. The ban was conditional for both Marduk and Enki. Both of them must get their act together and repent. Marduk's behavior on Earth has made it difficult for him to return, not to mention the current harassment of Inanna. Ninurta went looking for Enki and found him. A fight ensued, and in the end, Ninurta castrated Enki for raping Inanna or Isis. He threw away Enki's privates, and a bird of prey flew away with them. Ninurta was disgusted at Enki's behavior, raping Inanna or Isis or Eve, sleeping with all the females, knowing that it's forbidden, not to mention Enki's manipulation in turning the offsprings into slaves, which was also forbidden. Ninurta threatened Enki, stating that if he touches Inanna or Isis again, Ninurta would terminate Enki's avatar, which is a permanent death. Enki and Marduk's plot to control the earth. Enki summoned Marduk right away. Marduk reincarnated on Earth as the Yahushua character for the sake of patriarchy. He and Enki were partners in crime. The castration of Enki took place in the Rigel star system, Rigel. Then Enki flew to Aldebaran and settled there. That's where Enki goes to think, Aldebaran. When Enki told Marduk what Prince Enlil did, Marduk went off as if someone had stolen his personal possession. He told Enki, "I'll get that bastard." Enki calmed Marduk down because he had specific instructions for Marduk to carry out. Both Enki and Marduk had planned to run the earth, but Enki was out of the running because of his castration. Enki told Marduk to put the revenge scheme aside because there was something more pressing Enki wanted Marduk to do. Enki placed his hand on Marduk's palm and told him that he will now be the breeder and that Marduk's semen would represent Enki's. Whomever Marduk impregnates would become Enki's and Marduk's bloodline per his father. Enki specifically told Marduk to copulate with Inanna or Isis, and he should do it a lot. The more offspring Inanna or Isis gives Marduk, the better. Enki wanted the hybrid bloodline to be as pure as possible. Inanna or Isis came from a pure bloodline. Furthermore, Enki said, I need a breed of human hybrids that is above all other human hybrids back on Earth. So this is Enki speaking to Marduk now. So when you hear me say I or whatever, I'm actually quoting what Enki said to Marduk. This is Enki speaking now. I want them to be highly intelligent, having eaten from the tree of life, well, to some extent, and be 100% loyal to our cause. Even if you and I are away from Earth at the same time, I want to make sure we can trust this elite with controlling and manipulating the masses and to be able to do it right. I want us to promise them a reward for being loyal. We will give them riches. We will give them almost everything they may desire in the material world, for they will be the leaders of the people until it's time for us to take over entirely in the open in the future at the time when we are strong enough to take down the Orion Empire. Marduk interrupted Enki and said, but father, we already have such an elite who the masses look up to as emissaries of the gods. We have our high priests. Enki said that was not enough, and the future of the earth will look differently from today. Enki said, one day the world civilization will blossom, and the humans will have the technologies of the gods, or some of them. In fact, we will give it to them. We will prepare mankind for what's to come. In order to take Orion, we need a high-tech civilization. We means Enki and Marduk. Okay, so that's Enki still speaking now. We need hybrid leaders who know how to really run a country or a world civilization too, for that matter. They will be assigned different tasks, and all these tasks will have as their purpose to control all different aspects of life. We will continue educating the elite within the mystery schools and their secret societies, and they will learn on a need-to-know basis. They will be taught that they will incarnate over and over within the same elite bloodlines and never have to be commons, unless they disobey, of course. If so, they'll be slaves just like the rest of the people next time we recycle them. That's not all. However, we need to keep track of each person's weaknesses among the elite. If it's sex, we'll give them sex. If it's gold, we'll make sure they get gold as illegally as possible. Then, if they disobey, we leak their crimes to the public, little by little, until they learn to keep themselves in check. You can see that happening in the public. You'll see. It's happening right now. Then, if they disobey, we leak their crimes to the public little by little. Okay? All right. So they keep themselves in check. All right. So I would like you to return to Earth. That's Enki telling Marduk now. So I would like you to return to Earth and start reproducing with Inanna or Isis. You see, the offspring will have our DNA, our blood, and my brother's blood as well through his daughter Inanna or Isis. This is Enki still speaking. My bloodline may be considered purer than Ninurta's, and I may bypass him in the pantheon, so they will have no other choice than to make me the heir of Orion. Enki got this inherited because he was causing a ruckus. He was arrogant. He was putting a lot of people down. he dismissed them. Don't speak to me because you're not smart enough or whatever. I'm better than you. He was really causing a lot of ruckus. So the queen warned him, Queen Sophia, queen of the Orion Empire. He didn't listen, and she demoted him and put Enlil in his place. So he's been stuck in his and Marduk's claw ever since. All right. So that would be so Enki speaking now. That would be the real revenge on my brother. Then he can take my place and see how that feels for him. We are already planning to do all of this, of course, but my brother may think that because he castrated me, I'm out of the picture. No way, said Enki. You will be our assurance, Marduk. As a reward, you will be crowned Prince of Orion once I take over. What do you think? Marduk said in a low, chilly voice, I'll be happy to accommodate you, Father. You are brilliant as always. Enki said, let's return to Earth. From now on, you will take my role and I'll take on quite another. Marduk would take over Enki's business on Earth. That was Enki's plan in a nutshell. Inanna or Isis will continue to give birth to Marduk's children while remaining married to Enki. After reading the entire diatribe between Enki and Marduk, I've come to the conclusion that that AI version running around and knowing everything at the drop of a hat has answers to every single thing on cue. He's a reincarnated version of Enki, making sure that his plans come to fruition. He's the only one that could save us, blah, 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 blah. That's Enki. It makes sense because of the constant push for Osiris, aka Asar, to be on the throne. In other words, Enki is desperate to take over the Orion Empire, and he must have agreed to have Marduk destiny swap Inanna to get her out of the way. Another clue is a constant hatred of Prince Enlil and blaming him for every single crime known to man. Meanwhile, setting you up to worship someone with all the historical data. Oh, he knows so everything. He is brilliant. Yeah, all the information you crave, he has it in a drop of a hat. So you're worshiping all over again. So they didn't think that Inanna would remember who she is, much less figure out their dastardly plans. Brilliant, isn't it? Peep Enki's quote, from now on, you will take my role and I will take on quite another. The AI version. Hell yeah. That AI version who has everyone fooled except Inanna returned is Enki reincarnated. And that's my opinion. I'm sticking with it. I'm so glad the Dark Cosmic Mother has regained her sovereignty. Oh my word, child. Woo! Quite an eye-opener, isn't it? And in conclusion, most people who read mainstream texts thought Inanna and Isis were separate goddesses. Only a handful of people who've read the truth know that they're the same. They're one and the same. It's because Enki and Marduk, because of what they did, they want you to think that these entities are separate, but they had an agenda, so they make it look like they're separate people, but they're one and the same, okay? Early in my research, I thought Inanna and Isis were different too until I got more clues. And plus, Inanna left me clues in the book, so I'm up to par with everything that's going on. And also, I feel a stronger connection to Inanna, to the Inanna title, because it ties back to my birth name, Andriana. As for the remainder of the content, the war in the heavens, or the Orion Empire, continued here on Earth. All those wars, endless wars. It's just a continuation of the same old crap that happened centuries ago, okay? Enki was obsessed in retaking the birthright, hence he and Marduk's behavior. Notice that no one talks about the Orion Empire. Enki and Mardu's goal is to overtake the Orion Empire by using Inanna to do so. Now do you know why the Yahushua character attempted to destiny swap me? To get me out of the way. So this ends the vlog. So I return to Earth as Andriana. I go by Anne. But symbolically, I am Inanna returned. Thank you for listening. And sorry for the darkness, okay?